Do you remember that project that was supposed to change everything? The one you said, "This time I'll really start." Where is it now? In your someday folder or on the list of promises to yourself? Let's be honest, you didn't start because it's not the right time. You're just scared to leave your comfort zone, spending years convincing yourself that you're not ready, instead of admitting you can start even with an imperfect plan and shaky hands. You're not alone. Many get stuck not because they lack skill, but because they wait too long for external signals, support, clarity, and the perfect moment that never comes. The longer you wait, the stronger the habit of not starting becomes. This is Achiever, the protagonist of our blog. This was him before. Before the first post, he was afraid to publish. Before his first sale. Before he realized, heroes are not those who don't get scared, but those who see the fear and step forward anyway. In the next 8 minutes, we will tell you why your brain keeps you stuck in later mode and how to fix it. How to start without endless self-convincing. And why, in 90 days, you'll thank yourself for not closing this video. Let's go. Why you don't start. Hidden enemies you have not noticed. Enemy 1. The cult of the perfect launch. Achiever dreamed of launching a clothing brand. He spent years planning, researching competitors, sketching logos, renaming collections. But every time he got close to launching, panic hit. What if no one likes it? Kept echoing in his head. Here's the truth. A perfect launch is a myth. What looks like instant success is actually the result of hundreds of invisible tweaks. The first collection? Wonky. The first website? Clunky. But that's where the journey begins. Enemy 2. Decision paralysis. Which fabric should I use? Which cut? Which platform? How to handle shipping? Questions that trap you in quicksand. Your brain loves this trick. As long as you are researching, you're safe. No risk, no criticism. You can spend weeks comparing vendors, choosing fonts, debating colors with yourself. But until you move, nothing changes. Once you start, you'll realize that most things can be figured out or fixed along the way. Enemy 3. The "I'm not good enough" syndrome. This one is the sneakiest. It whispers, "Who are you to launch a brand?" And it makes sense. Big brands have studios, models, budgets. You? A mock-up made at 2 a.m. and 74 followers. When Achiever posted his first t-shirt design, he expected comments like, "Who even are you?" Instead, someone placed an order. Another wrote, "Looks cool, want one." That was enough to keep going. But how to stop negotiating with these saboteurs and finally start? You'll be surprised. The answer is to outsmart your own brain. How to outsmart your brain and start. Secrets that shatter procrastination. Do you know why 90% of Just Do It advice fails? Because the brain sees drastic changes as a threat. If you try to do everything perfectly at once, it triggers defense mode. Too risky. Retreat. But there's a way to hack it. Secret 1. Micro steps, your magic push. Starting feels scary when your brain sees a mountain of tasks: website, logo, shipping, packaging, ads. But you're not afraid of the work. You're afraid of its scale. The solution is to break the launch into micro steps your brain won't perceive as threats. For example, not build a website, but sketch a header block. Not release a collection, but come up with one print idea. Not find an audience, but send a link to a friend and ask for feedback. Instead of aiming to launch the store by summer, Achiever simply sat down and picked 3 fonts for the logo. The next day, he brainstormed brand names. Then he drafted homepage text. His brain didn't panic, it all felt harmless. Yet that's how it actually began. Why it works. Micro steps bypass the fear alarm. Your brain thinks, "This is trivial, let him play." Meanwhile, you are building momentum. Secret 2. The wonky start rule. School taught, plan first, act later. But in reality, plans emerge through action. When Achiever launched his site, the checkout didn't work. A customer messaged, "How do I buy?" Achiever fixed it on the spot and kept moving. What can you do? Start with a barely functional version. Website? Use a template. Photos? One real shot is enough. Embrace early imperfections. It's not failure, it's progress. Ask, what can I do in 15 minutes to move forward? Key, fear of mistakes dies at launch. Once you start, fear becomes fuel. Secret 3. The motivation anchor. Motivation is flaky. Here today, gone tomorrow. But you can tame it. Achiever created a note titled, "Why I Want This Clothing Brand," and every evening added 1 to 2 reasons, like, I want to dress people in clothes I'd wear myself. I want freedom from bosses and orders. I want to prove I can build this from scratch. When doubt hit, he reread the list. Build your anchor. Grab pen and paper. Write 3 core reasons for pursuing your goal. Keep it visible. Phone wallpaper, monitor sticky note, notebook cover. Revisit it every time you feel not in the mood. Secret 4. The fear experiment. Turn anxiety into data. Fear thrives in imagination. Treat it as a hypothesis. Watch it crumble. Try this. Create a table. Every time anxiety strikes, what if no one buys? What if they mock me? Log it under prediction. After acting, fill the reality column. In weeks, you'll see 90% of fears never happen. The rest? Fixable. Your toolkit. Before posting, ordering, emailing, right? I'm scared that. A day later, add what actually happened. Repeat. Build hard evidence against your fears. Once you've started, the next step is turning actions into a sustainable rhythm. This is where systems come in. They don't need inspiration, willpower, or mood. Next, we'll show how to build an action autopilot that works even when you're burned out. Systems over willpower. How to make action inevitable. You don't set reminders to brush your teeth, right? You just do it automatically. Launching a project works the same way. When you repeat actions daily, they stop requiring effort. Rule 1. Decision templates, your autopilot. Willpower is a muscle. It gets tired, but habits don't. If you turn actions into rituals, your brain will stop resisting. Achiever decided every day in the morning to work on one project task, even for 10 minutes, even unmotivated. A month later, it became as routine as morning coffee. Your plan: pick a trigger. Time, place, or action. Example: after breakfast, 15 minutes on the project. Before bed, 1 step toward launch. Start small, 5 to 15 minutes. Focus on consistency, not quantity. Even one daily step builds a system. Pair work with something pleasant. Music, tea, a cozy blanket. When the brain detects repetition, it stops fighting. It becomes the norm. Rule 2. The domino effect. The power of tiny steps. 1 post a week. 1 design a month. 1 daily action. That's a system. No inspiration needed, just repetition. Sounds small? But when you keep going, it becomes unstoppable momentum. Most start from 0. First 5 posts, silence. 6th, an order. 8th, a share. Months later, clients. Not because the work was perfect, because it was consistent. What you can do: shift focus from "where's the result" to "I'm still moving." Use a tracker. That's your control system. Mark every day you take even a small step. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is turning motion into a system. Momentum works both ways. Stop moving, you stall. Keep moving, you accelerate. A well-built system gives you power. You've started taking action. Now it's time to make sure those actions match the person you want to become. New identity. How to become someone who acts without waiting for the right moment. Step 1. I am a person who. The magic of self-definition. Your actions reflect who you believe you are. If you think I'm a procrastinator, you'll act that way. But if you say I'm someone who acts despite fear, everything shifts. Achiever used to say, "I just want to try." Then he rephrased to, "I'm a person who builds a clothing brand." He stopped waiting for the right moment. He started acting like that person. Your toolkit. Replace "I want" with "I am a person who." Not "I want to launch a project," but "I am a person advancing my project daily." Avoid self-judgment. Ask, am I moving toward who I want to be? Swap "I'll fail" with "I'll start with what I can do now." Why it works. Your brain craves consistency. Define your identity, and your actions will begin to match that image. Step 2. The victory ritual. How to capture your progress. We often feel stuck because we ignore our progress. Track even tiny steps, and you'll see how far you've come. Achiever spent 2 minutes every evening answering 2 questions. What did I do for the project today? Does this align with my new identity? Example: wrote product descriptions. That means I'm still moving toward my goal. How to adopt. Create a short evening ritual. 2 questions, 2 answers. Write in notes, a journal, anywhere. The key is to acknowledge the progress. A small step is still movement. Achiever could have delayed his launch for another year, waiting for the perfect design, logo moment. But one day he thought, what if I just start? He took the first step. The rest followed. Achiever isn't a superhero. He is you in 90 days. Who will you choose to become in the next 3 months? Share in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. There's more valuable content coming.